Top 10 Facts about Oceans. Oceans are what make up most of the world, and they are one of the most mysterious things in the earth. So here are 10 facts about the oceans. 1. Water at the bottom of the ocean is incredibly hot. In these deepest parts of the ocean, the water temperature may only be 2 to 4 Celsius, with the exception of water coming out of hydrothermal vents in the seafloor. The water release from these vents can be up to 400 Celsius. It's the intense pressure at these depths, the same pressure that would crush you, that keeps the water from boiling too. The ocean is home to nearly 95% of all life. With so much going on well below the surface, it's easy to forget that the oceans are teeming with life. In fact, 94% of life is aquatic. That means those of us who live on land are part of a very, very small minority. 3. There is lots of gold in the oceans. There's around 20 million tons of gold dispersed throughout the oceans. It is, however, diluted pretty much to a pulp. Its concentration is only a few parts per trillion, according to the National Ocean Service. The ocean floor also has undissolved gold embedded in it, but it's not cost-effective to mine it. However, if the ocean's gold were equally distributed among every person on Earth, we'd each receive 9 pounds of it. 4. The Pacific Ocean is wider than the Moon. At its widest point, from Indonesia all the way to Colombia, the Pacific Ocean is wider than the Moon, by quite a lot. This expanse of ocean is 12,300 miles across, which is more than 5 times the diameter of the Moon. 5. The ocean is our greatest source of oxygen. Most of the oxygen in our atmosphere comes from tiny marine plants in the ocean, specifically, phytoplankton, kelp, and algal plankton. Scientists estimate they're responsible for around 70% of the atmosphere's oxygen. 6. We have better maps of Mars than of the ocean. Less than 5% of the ocean has been explored. In fact, we have better maps of Mars than of the oceans, despite the fact that it's nearly 50 million miles away. 7. One iceberg could supply 1 million people with drinking water for 5 years. A large iceberg from Antarctica contains more than 20 billion gallons of water, which could conceivably supply 1 million people with drinking water for 5 years. But this piece of information isn't just a great way to illustrate how massive these icebergs are. A company in the United Arab Emirates is actually planning to begin towing icebergs from Antarctica to the coast for exactly this reason. The country receives, on average, just 4 inches of rainfall each year, and is at risk of serious drought in the next 25 years, but may be able to solve the problem with this iceberg water solution. 8. Ocean have lakes and rivers. The ocean is like an entirely separate world. There are trenches, mountains, volcanoes, and lakes and rivers. As seawater makes its way through layers of salt, it forms little depressions on the ocean floor. Because the water around these depressions contains more salt than normal seawater, it's denser and sinks into the depressions, creating little briny pools. These are a lot like the lakes we know in that they have shorelines, and some of them even have waves. 9. Most of Earth's volcanic activity happens in the ocean. When it comes to volcanic activity, the oceans have the most going on by a wide margin. In fact, 90% of all the volcanic activity on the planet happens in the ocean, and the largest known concentration of active volcanoes is in the South Pacific. It's an area no bigger than the size of New York, but it contains a whopping 1,133 volcanoes. 10. The ocean is a magnet for heat. The ocean is the largest solar energy collector on Earth, according to NOAA. The proliferation of greenhouse gases prevents heat from escaping our planet's atmosphere, and all that energy has to go somewhere. Unfortunately, it goes straight into the oceans. As a result, ocean temperatures have rapidly risen over the past few decades. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe and comment.